Okay, guys, let's roll. I'm going to try and be quick on this one. I want to introduce you to a new channel I came across. It's Alfie Sax, Alfie Saxon TV over on Saxon Thor. I'll leave a link in the description. It's a small channel, smaller than mine, than ours. It's 226 subscribers. Let's see what he's got to say.
Mealy mouth, pussyfooting about. Rupert has done something absolutely unforgivable, and he needs to wind his neck in. Why do it?
Convicted Sri Lankan sex offender allowed to stay in Britain and would be at risk of persecution if he was returned to his home country. I don't care. A Jamaican drug was jailed twice, allowed to stay in Britain after claiming his removal would breach his right to a family life. I don't.
Right? What Rupert has done is cynical. It's driven by ego. And this is a man. Listen, yes, again, I know people that were friends of mine that were involved in giving evidence of that grooming inquiry. Kudos for that. That's fine. But if his actions now stop Advance becoming a party that will get, now I don't think they will. I think Advance will prevail, and I think Rupert will be seen. Rupert will be seen as Donald Trump always calls their enemies. Rupert will be seen as one of the biggest losers in British politics because he's backed the wrong horse. I've just explained the reason why ethno-nationalism wouldn't work. Even if ethno-nationalism was morally right, but it's also morally wrong because it's racism. I met Connor Tomlinson at that Advance thing. He was sent by Rupert to spy, him and some other guy, sent to spy at the Advance thing, right? And Connor Thomas said to me, "Oh, all politics is identity politics. Not on our watch, mate. Not on our watch. No, because our politics is a politics of genuine inclusion, irrespective of color or creed, right? That's what the politics that Advance is promoting." And
I don't care. A Zimbabwean jailed for killing a man in a car crash, allowed to stay in Britain after it was discovered he had an illicit love child. I don't care. A convicted allowed to stay in Britain by claiming the move would harm his children. I don't care.
Constitution. What is Rupert Lowe playing at for? There's no excuse for what he's done. He must never be forgotten or forgiven for what he's trying to do. Because whatever way anyone looks at it, he is deliberately trying to split and undermine the vote. And I believe Ben will stay strong. I don't believe Ben's going to be pushed around or bullied by these ethno-nats and these wannabe Tory boys that have wrapped themselves around Rupert Lowe. I believe, to a certain extent, I do believe he is getting old, right? And he is maybe failing a little bit. And he's listening to these young bucks that are whispering in his ear like Grimly Worm. So you can just see Connor Tomlinson, sidling up on his knee and whispering in his ear, "Oh, Rupert, you've got to do this. Piss off. This is my country that's at stake, right? This is my country. And I'm not going to bend or bow to any of these people, right? Because we got the plan. We put it in place. It took us 8 years to get to.
No, Richard, it's not your country, it's our country, and we're taking our country back with or without you. All politics is about identity, Richard. Oh, I said I was going to bite my tongue. What do you think Muslim politics are? Identity, block votes. Sikhs, identity, block votes. Hindus, block votes. You want to be in a diverse party? An all-inclusive party? Don't you think you should be over there with the rest of the wacko Greens? I said I was going to bite my mouth. Oh. Thank God for Rupert Lowe.
To where we are now, right? And these little boys that couldn't beat the skin off a rice pudding are putting our country in a situation where we may be driven to an unwinnable civil war. That's what these idiots are doing with their ethno-nationalism, with their little vanity projects. I've never been as angry with someone on the right of politics as I am with Rupert Lowe and his little cronies. And we could name them all. And I'm going to name them all. Carl Benjamin, Connor Tomlinson, right? Wrong-uns, you're flipping wrong-uns. That's all there is to it.
Albanian criminal was allowed to stay in Britain partly because his son will not eat foreign chicken nuggets. I definitely don't care. We hear so much of the human rights for sex pests and murderers. What about the human rights of the British people? The right not killed by foreigners who should never have been in our country to begin with. Please spare me the continued moral outrage. I am bored of it. The British people are bored of it. It is not cruel to deport criminals. It is not inhumane to defend our own citizens. What is cruel and what is inhumane is allowing foreign killers us in the name of the human rights they should have forfeited the moment they committed their crimes. You can all sit here and persuade yourselves otherwise, but one simple fact remains. The British people want them gone. Not some of them, not most of them, all of them. What happens on return to their own country is quite simply not our problem.
Well. What do you make of that? I'll have to trim a bit out, don't I? For the copyright again. What has Rupert Lowe done? A lot more than you, Richard. A lot more than me. The guy is a patriot. He wants our country back. I checked out Richard's all about him. Disappointed ex-serviceman. I've got to be honest. I wouldn't like to be stood next to him in a dangerous situation. I like those around me to be calm. If I wanted to be surrounded by hysterical people, I could go and sit with my wife's friends on a Saturday night. Oh God. Yeah, thank God for Rupert Lowe. I tell you what, Advance UK, and I'm an Advance UK member, people like Richard are a danger to it. I've seen this playbook before. Okay, let's go into the bunker, guys, and I'll tell you something. Well, what did you make of that? I've got to be honest. Hysterical or what? What has Rupert Lowe ever done for us? A lot more than Richard has, that's for sure. Oh, if we could all work as tirelessly for the cause as Richard Lowe does. Look, guys, I'm an Advance UK member, but the kind of politics that Richard seems to want are completely opposite to mine. But of course, I'm an ethno-nationalist. I care about my country. Yeah. I don't know what Richard cares about. Diversity, equity, inclusion. Oh, then again, it's his country because he just told us. I think it's our country. What do you think? Anyhow, be serious now, guys. We have to talk about this electoral college because I think that's one of the reasons why Rupert hasn't come over to Advance. And I don't blame him. Can you imagine an electoral college full of people like Richard? We'd be having a new leader every other week. Every time they had a difference, people like Richard would spit their dummies out, go hysterical, and call to replace the leader of the party. Nothing would get done. It would be breaking into different factions every 6 months. That's the one good thing Nick Griffin done for the BNP. He got rid of their equivalent of the Electoral College and passed it down to the members to decide who the leader was. Yeah, I've told you about that in previous videos. I think Rupert is being very wise if he does stay away from electoral colleges. They are dangerous. And what we've just seen in that video introducing Saxon Thor was a classic example of why an electoral college is bad for a political party. Apart from that, I don't think they were even elected, were they? Who guards the guard? No, that's my take on it. Anyhow, let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think Richard is right. Diversity, equity, inclusion. Is everybody English? Is everybody Welsh? Yeah. That Somalian Welsh choir boy? Is he Welsh? No. I can't. Pathetic. I'm not sure I'd want to be in a party full of people like Richard. Yeah. And I'm not too keen on the person there sat with him. Yeah. Run with the fox, hunt with the hounds. Just go click on their pages, have a look on them more, and you'll find link after link to how you can give them money. Plastic patriots.